Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I feel like I should go, it's Laura, because I'm doing a Halloween journal. This is the last one of the year, and I love it. I think this might be my favorite one. I have had this spine of an old Shakespeare works book for years, and I really wanted it to be for something special, and I love this. I turned this into a door. This is also an antique book here. And I'm using this antique drawer pull, and I believe it is solid copper. It is very heavy. Boom. So I just love that I wish I could have a sound effects that went. So I also did some ribbon dyeing here, and I've got some beautiful fabric. I love it. So I'm going to take you through a little journey before I put it in my Etsy shop. And everything in here miraculously is authentic, antique and vintage Halloween themed ephemera. So it takes hundreds of pieces of ephemera to fill 3 books of Halloween books, which is what I've done this year. So let me take you on a little journey. Very first page, and I love because of the knob, it sort of lies open like this. This is from a very old antique book, and look at this scary dude here and all the scary people down here. And then on the back is kind of this goth, cryptic kind of graphic picture. I love it. This antique book page says jack-o'-lantern, so I turn that into a pocket. And then this is from a vintage book called Sorcerers and Spells, right? Can you get any better than that? I dare say not. And there's the date there, 73, which makes it 52 years old, which makes it vintage. And this is from another vintage book here. It's actually, I believe, Mammals of America. And so we've got a couple of pages of bats. Look at this one. How great is that for Halloween? Mwah, and a skeleton. It's not the kind of skeleton we're used to, but it counts. This I pulled from a 1940 Paris, France almanac book because it is October 31st. So that's kind of neato pepito. And this is one of these awesome vintage index tabs. And I just love the discoloration on it, the bright Halloween orange, and the stamped number there, 219. That's from a vintage book here. Look at the spooky tree there, and the oranges and blacks. And of course the bingo card, and you already know if you follow me why this is in here. 10/31, October 31st. You can journal on the back of that. And then down here we've got this wonderful antique page with crows sitting on a branch. And this one here is a clown because apparently, from my research, that is one of the most popular children's costumes at Halloween. I was a clown myself when I was 3. And now clowns that I see at Halloween are really quite scary. So times have changed. This is one of those great canning jar sealant coasters, handmade with nice orange fabric. And this is awesome. Look at this cemetery. This is from an antique book, early 1900s, In Search of Ireland. And the reason I kept the Ireland pages in here, you'll see back here, In Search of Ireland, is because Halloween originated in Ireland. The Celtics deemed it the Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints Day. And so got to have some Irish history in here. This is a Butterick's pattern for costumes. And here's a little costume, little kids in costumes here. The Halloween party. So I've added antique paper front and back for extra journaling space, or you can put your own photos there from your favorite Halloweens. And again, some journaling space here. And there's more of that French almanac page. And this is from a vintage children's book. Of course, they're carving out their jack-o'-lantern. And I love on this French almanac page here, we've got the gypsy lady sort of here. It's kind of cool. I like it. This is just a really scary castle with a graveyard down below. This is from the 60s. This is a page that Paige sent me. Another one of Paige's pages. And things to do. Look at these awesome Halloween things. And we've got kids in costumes over here. I was going to cut it up, but I think it's a lot more fun all in one piece. So somebody can have a lot of fun with that. I really like that graphic up there. It's kind of Halloween-y. This is just a really fun cluster I did. And then some fun trim, and there is another cemetery there, and a spider. We see lots of spiders at Halloween. Another pumpkin patch children's book page, and this is just a really, I just love that so much. Look at that. A little ghost there. And this came out of another highlights book, and that is a pumpkin crossword puzzle for Halloween. And I chose this one here because it's orange and black. Maybe she's cleaning her windows, getting ready for trick-or-treating. And this is a photograph from the 50s, 1955. And it is a woman in a caveman woman costume. And she's got a club there made out of stick. It's just hilarious. That's so funny. So yeah, I think that's pretty great. It's very hard to find costume photographs that are antique or vintage. We've got a scary guy here in the closet. And then we've got some great Halloween colors and themes here. And then here is another great one. We've got the moon looking at the jack-o'-lantern down here. And in here, I've got this great children's book page, which was a word game. It has a scarecrow on it. Just really, really like the scarecrows too. And hold on, it's coming. Make a little pocket here. And on the other side, I've made another pocket, a noise in the night. Another spooky scene here with the tree and the rain. Little girl there on her bike. And then I made this journaling tag out of this piece here, the little ghost trick-or-treating. And this is a fall piece here because it, of course, Halloween comes in the fall. So I put in a vintage page from Trees of America. Here's another early 1900s page here, spider and their web. And there's the rest of that fantastic cemetery piece there. And that is from the 1890s. And here is that Highlights for Fun book. And this is Peter Pumpkin Eater here. And then I love this cross stitch down here. It's got the oranges that kind of look like pumpkins. And then this is another piece from a Things to Make and Do book I have. Whoop, whoop. And these are all Halloween themed things. You could actually cut these out and use them. It'd be really fun to make other collages with. This is from the 1940s, or actually, it could be 1930, it doesn't matter. The Witch, that story is called The Witch. And then we've got other bits here. These little pieces here, as odd as they look, are pieces from this spine, from the opposite side of the spine. I just loved how old they were. And this is from the early 1900s. And we've got the spider in the web there. And here's another great Halloween piece. Black cat in a tree, trespassers will be prosecuted. And this is actually a black crow's feather to go with the crow page here from the 1930s. Rest of that Halloween page here. And this is a vintage card that kind of looks like a scary tree in the moonlight. This is early 1900s. Down here we've got a pumpkin, and this also is from the 1920s. And we've got this image of this woman who is making a spider web out of silk. It's so cool collecting this ephemera. I have to tell you, it's one of my favorite things. And then we've got a bat page down here and here. And that's the other side of the highlights for children. And here's a piece from my early 1900s palmistry book. And this one is The Countess of Aberdeen. That is hers from 1894. Another Halloween page here, vintage. And this one here is the Old Dutch Church in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Look. Sleepy Hollow, that's where the Headless Horseman's from. Gotta love that, right? And that is really old. That is also turn of the century. Sorry, a little bit of glue on here. And then I've got this great vintage song page about Halloween, 3 Little Witches, 1, 2, 3. And then another piece here from 1925, Halloween celebrations. And there is more Halloween things here, how to make these crafts for Halloween. And that brings us to the end. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making this. This will be a hard one to let go, but it's at hyperstamper.etsy.com. If you have any comments, please leave them, subscribe, and my email is below if you want to get in touch with me. And no tariffs. Yay! Talk to you soon. Bye for now.